Hi, Shiva.
Hi, I feel like it's been a while.
Yes, and in our laps, I have gotten braces. So
Just put them out there.
I'm a little grumpy because I hurt. And I'm a little between gawky.
Between goggy. I don't even remember what that feels like. It was so long ago. So, did we just say what we wanted? What do we want today?
What do we want today?
Well, we want to understand men, for one thing.
Yeah, and this might take more than a few minutes.
Yeah. Well, this is what inspired me to talk about this today. Is somebody on Facebook put this cute little video up, and I'm still trying to decide whether we should repost it or not.
I think we should.
It's a little silly, but it was 4 guys sitting around talking like women would talk.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it was goofy, and it's very simplistic, but it just got me thinking about the differences between men and women. And this is something I think about all the time anyway. Mm-hmm. Because another book, and I know we talk about books all the time, but we're both just voracious readers.
Yeah, we love books.
This is one that really changed the way I view the world again. I mean, there's been just 2 or 3 significant books, and this was one, and it is the Mars and Venus book.
Mm-hmm.
Which
I may have your copy of.
I know, I lent that out with the highlights and everything years ago, and I'm so upset that I can't find that. But really gave me good insight about men and how they think versus how we think, and it's very different.
I'm very scared I might have that book because I don't have it in the house now. I don't remember buying it, and I know I wouldn't have checked it out from the library.
Well, I would have lent it to you after a breakup or something because I went to find it to give it to another friend who's going through an awful time.
I haven't had a breakup since we've been together because I had no boyfriends and then I got married.
It might not have been you. Regardless, if you... I just say every woman should read this book. I'm not even going to say that men should read this book because they won't. And that's part of the whole Mars and Venus thing. But it's so insightful. I mean, once I read it, I'm like, oh.
And that's one of the differences I was going to say between men and women because when JV was trying to lure me into his web, he was all about, let's go to Barnes & Noble, and yeah, I'll go into your crazy, let's buy all these books on how to be a better couple. And I remember he bought me like 3 books on like how to get the love you want, and like the book of questions, which we call it the book of breakup questions now, because some of those questions, we thought it would help us get to know each other, but some of them are like, oh, what would you change the most about your wife's body? Or,
are you kidding?
That's not one of them, but you know, like that kind of stuff. Like, which ex do you miss the most?
Yeah.
But I know now that he would not have any interest in reading one of those books with me, so that's one of the reasons I need to talk, or we're going to talk about this later, because she says you can do these books by yourself. You don't need to have both parts of the couple.
Yeah, I think any woman who thinks they're going to go into a new relationship and have a book and a list of questions is shooting herself in the foot. Because that's a whole lot of work for a man to do. And I'm not saying every man in the world. There's going to be variations of color. There's going to be men who are more open to these sort of things and more introspective. And there are going to be men who are totally the opposite.
JV was really good. There are a bunch of questions in that book that we're going to talk about later. And he was really good about answering them all.
Yeah, well, JV is more evolved. And I think of Al as being more evolved.
Yes.
You know, more willing
He's
to...
farther down the evolutionary line than others.
Yeah.
But you know what other difference...
I was looking for.
I think a huge difference between... I don't like to say men in general because I don't like to, categorize. Yeah, generalize. But the difference between me and my husband is I talk through everything I do. Like, every step of the way, I talk about what I'm thinking about doing, what I'm planning to do, and JV tells me when something's done, maybe. He doesn't say, oh, today I think I'm going to blah, blah, blah. You know, like, he doesn't feel the need to talk through his entire thought process like I do.
Yes, women dissect things. And men I think of more as black and white, on and off.
And he doesn't like to tell until it's done. He doesn't like to tell about what you're hoping to do. Like, get it done and then share it.
Yeah, so this is all in the Mars and Venus book. And I just say, read it, get it at the library, buy it, whichever you want to do, but just read it.
And one of the things they talk about in Mars and Venus, which I do think is true, is sometimes I like to just vent and complain. Complain, I call it venting, it's probably complaining. And guys just want to fix it.
Yes.
And he, my husband does not come home and complain. The only time he complains to me is if he wants me to fix it.
Okay. Yeah, so we're getting into the nitty-gritties, the granular part of the book. But just read it, and it's very insightful, and it'll help you understand your man, and kind of help you understand how to what's the word I'm looking for?
Approach.
Massage your relationship
Yeah.
and to enter into it with the right frame of mind. And how to, recover from a breakup, because it's just awful. It's horrible trying to understand, and women pick it apart. What did I do wrong, and where did we go wrong, and what didn't we talk about? Men are like, I'm done. Next. Really, though. And that's how they are. And it's not anything you did or didn't do. It's just how men are.
Do you think all men are like that? You don't
Well,
think they're
no.
ever sad eating their
Of course
ice
they're
cream?
sad, but they're not going to sit at home and think about what went wrong. They just don't.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But, like, you don't think they analyze what they could do different next time? Or no?
I really don't. It's like, next thing, there's no sense dwelling. It's dwelling. We dwell and we just let things stew. And men don't do that. They don't waste their energy on that.
Well, that's...
Again, generalities.
I
Shades
think-
of gray.
I think there's good and bad. I think it's good for us all to kind of reflect and learn from our mistakes so we don't keep bringing our crap wherever we go. But I also think not dwelling is probably good too. Because I think as girls, we give ourselves a lot too long on a breakup.
Oh
like,
my gosh,
people
yes.
have told me, my mom told me when I first broke up that the first time I ever had to break up, that it takes you half as long as the relationship to get over it.
Oh, I heard as long.
That's a long time!
It is a long time. That's a really long time. So, okay, well, I think we've at least kind of given an overview. But,
Okay,
yeah,
so-
what do you notice? I guess that's a good question to ask. What do you notice differences in if you're married in your spouse or in your current relationship
Right.
or in old relationships? What were some of the things that you found hard to communicate or
And this is not an open window for male bashing.
No.
We're just talking about the differences positive on both sides.
I wish I could be more just shut off with my feelings. And I'm working on that.
I
There's
don't.
no sense in dwelling. I don't want to dwell. Okay, let me put it that
Okay,
way.
yeah, I don't think you should shut off any more feelings.
Okay,
I
I
don't think
phrased
that's a
that
good
wrong.
idea.
Negative feelings. I don't want to dwell on
Okay.
negative feelings. I don't.
All right.
You know? Does that make sense?
Yes, it
Okay.
does.
So I put a
Okay.
couple of links up for some books. Ooh. Should we also tell them about the other one? The He's Not That Into You? Or do we want to get into that later?
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
I never did see the movie. I heard it. But
Yeah.
I liked the book. I liked the premise
The movie
behind
was
it.
cute.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was one of those like montage ones with a bunch of different couples, right?
Oh, I love those. Like Love Actually. I don't
Was
know.
it?
I didn't see it.
Yeah, if it's the one I'm thinking of with Drew Barrymore and all that, it was adorable. Okay.
All right. Thanks, Shivas. Let us know what you think.
Bye bye.
Bye.